Living in a good neighborhood can feel like winning the lottery.
Just a normal neighborhood, quiet, peaceful, friendly.
How you doing? I'm doing all right.
He did all the things that a good neighbor would do.
But some dreams are too good to be true.
What do you want?
That's when you notice that mental illness really kicked in.
Why y'all watching me?
You felt that we were all conspiring against him.
Why don't you go away? You don't belong here. Dog killer.
Excuse me?
Everybody's after me.
What are you doing here?
You want to call the cops again? There has to be something you can do.
Swear this.
And they just kept ignoring the signs.
The government and the police have been watching me. It's injustice.
He was just a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode.
He just had a house blow up.
Never thought it would escalate to murder.
Hey! What are you doing? I'm not moving anywhere. Why don't you leave? That's so man. As pathetic as you!
Located in Baltimore County, Maryland, the community of Parkview Crossing is home to nice, hardworking people.
Just a normal American neighborhood, quiet, peaceful, friendly, no crime, nice.
You had a lot of professional people. You had different nationalities, different age groups. You had a little bit of everybody there.
George Harvell has called Parkview Crossing home for many years.
We moved in May of 1996. It was a townhouse community close to my wife's work, affordable housing, which everyone wants. It was a nice new development, new shiny house.
Hey, morning, Vogel.
Hey, George.
How you doing today?
I'm all right.
Good, good.
Vogel moved in probably a month after I did. He was my next door neighbor, single guy, loved sports, loved cooking, didn't like to cut grass.
Me and George, we see each other just about every day. Great friend, great neighbor, somebody I always could depend on.
You take care today.
Always.
You go catch some crooks.
When I moved in, I was a federal police officer. The people that knew, they just treated me the same.
Parkview Crossing is also home to Everton Brown.
Everton was a really nice guy. He did all the things that a good neighbor would do. It kind of laid a good foundation, you know, for the friendship that we had.
Hey, George, how you doing? I'm doing all right. Lawn's looking real good, Everton. Thanks, man.
Everton is a truck driver and lives alone with his beloved pit bull.
Everton is a tractor-trailer driver, and so he would transport loads to different states and so forth.
So how you doing, man? How's your family?
We've been better, you know. Mom just passed away.
Oh, no, George. Sorry to hear that, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hope you're holding up, eh?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we tried.
Okay.
Everton expressed if I ever need anything, you know, just let him know.
You know what? I got the right thing to cheer you, man.
Is that right?
The big fight is on.
Oh, that's right.
Everton and I both enjoyed sports a lot, and we would watch fights together.
Come on over tonight. I'm gonna cook dinner, and we watch the fight together. Huh?
You're on.
All right, man.
I'll see you tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Good stuff, man.
I'll see you.
Good.
Everton, this is the best meal I've had in ages.
He took pride in his cooking. He was a good cook, you know, which was kind of amazing for a single guy that's always on the road a lot with his work.
I think you're gonna make some lucky woman very happy.
I hope so, but I'm on the road a lot.
I think he was a sense of loneliness. Being on the road and driving all the time absolutely had an effect. He was looking for, you know, some compassion, some love.
I didn't want to say anything. Well, I'm dating a woman that lives around here.
That's great.
Hey, just make sure you invite us to the wedding.
But the good times are about to take a twisted turn.
Why don't you go get a life and stop terrorizing me?
You're not even worth watching. You're a fool.
Bring it on, man. Come on, bring it on, man.
If he had one goal to cause chaos and havoc, he did it.
For now, love is in the air for Everton Brown.
So when are we gonna go out again?
I mean, we have to talk about our future.
Everton displayed like a really kind of a strong bravado type of personality. And that's not really appealing to everyone.
You're really nice, but I don't think it's gonna work out between us.
He was rushing things, and basically she said she didn't like that, didn't feel comfortable with that.
Sorry.
She basically told him in so many words, "You're not my type, someone I want to be with."
Obviously, no one likes to be rejected in a relationship, but it seemed like he was always in control. He was a single person in control of his own career. He had his own house, but she took that control away from him when she called that off.
That was the beginning. That's when we saw Everton just completely change.
Everton's former flame soon gets a nasty surprise.
It was a boulder about this big in her windshield.
Without a shadow of a doubt, she believed it was him. It wasn't like it was just a random act of vandalism. She felt it was targeted towards her. She knew it was him.
But when the police arrive, the truck driver claims he's innocent.
I don't know what she's talking about, man. I haven't been near her or her car.
Okay. Thank you for your time, sir.
Nothing ever came about that, so there was no action taken against him. But when she called the police, then all of a sudden he was on the defensive, and he resented that very much.
His demeanor really changed, attitude, caring about himself, and that's when he basically flipped.
Soon after, George witnesses Everton's new edge firsthand.
Are we going this over again, man? Are you doing this to me, man? All I'm asking is for you guys to be fair with me, man. That's all I'm asking. I don't want to speak to the supervisor, man. I want what's coming to me. No, hello?
Is everything all right, Ev?
No, my company, man, they're screwing me over.
They were supposed to pay me for fuel, they were supposed to pay me for tolls, and they didn't pay it. And again, now he's not in control.
Why don't you just work for a different company? Clearly they don't deserve you.
No, man, that ain't gonna happen because I worked my butt off for this company. They owe me.
You know, just his level of frustration with the companies that he was dealing with, you could see it was just eating at him. Really changed his whole personality.
Now, Everton's simmering rage turns an everyday issue into a turf war.
It's almost like an unwritten rule, so to speak. You know, if your townhouse is here in front of you, then you took that parking spot. So basically, everyone would always park in the same spots. And he was very possessive about his parking space. And so there was an evening where my wife came home and she parked right in front of his house. He actually moved his car and parked closer to her car. I'm talking about 6 to 12 inches. That's how close he parked. She wasn't happy about that at all. At that point, it got very awkward. I was in shock. I never saw that side of him. It's like he snapped.
You're gonna poison your dog! Stop lying to me!
It was to a point where you didn't want to even go over there, because if you did, you don't know what could happen.
Don't!
He had that sense of he didn't want to get on the wrong side of him.
Hey, your truck is parked in front of my wife's car. You know that's my wife's car, right?
She was a park straight.
He said she was crooked, and that's unacceptable.
Give her a break, man.
Look, that's my parking spot in front of my home. Everyone knows that. Should have known better.
And he just went on and on about, man, I don't want anybody parking in my car. I'm like, okay. So I just left it at that.
Ev, come on, man. Why don't we talk about this over dinner, right? Or some beers, just you and me.
Oh, thanks.
The whole dynamic just changed so quickly. His frustration just kept building and building and building.
Months later, George and his family move out of Parkview Crossing.
He had a large part to do with it. My wife felt that he was unstable. So kind of unsettling to deal with that every single day when the person's just 4 doors down from where you live.
With one of his few friends now gone, the solitude takes its toll on Everton Brown.
I think he felt the whole world was closing in on him. I think he felt by getting rejected by her and the situation with his trucking, and I think he felt everything was starting to shut down on him, like everybody was against him.
You could see his disdain toward other people. You really felt that we were all conspiring somehow against him.
Within weeks, Everton's concerning behavior and conspiracy theories reach a troubling new level.
I remember I went to the grocery store, came back, I pulled up. I had this feeling that somebody walked up on me. Now I got my back turned as I'm getting out of the car. I can't see what's going on. I have groceries in my hand. So I dropped the groceries and I pulled my own personal gun out.
Don't shoot. It's me, bro. It's me.
I said, don't you ever walk up on me like that ever again.
I just want to ask you something. You work for the feds, right?
You the man. You work for the feds. I said, and what?
Yeah. So why y'all watching me?
You watching me. You trying to get me locked up. You trying to do something to me.
Let me ask you something. Are you up in some clock tower with a sniper rifle?
No.
Are you pushing heroin or running a prostitution ring?
No.
I said, are you a serial killer? He's like, no. Are you carrying major weight of drugs? Are you transporting human bodies? No. Well, ain't nobody watching you because you ain't reason enough to watch.
You don't have anything to worry about.
I know it's real.
Everton, go home.
You talk to him as much as you can. You try to catch him on one of his good days. So when you talk to him, you just basically tell him, look, man, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. I can get you help. I'm not the one after you.
But Everton doesn't find his neighbor's answers reassuring.
He was just too strong-willed to acknowledge or accept the fact that he had a problem. You might have had a problem, but Everton did not have a problem. I don't think he would have been open to any type of help from anyone.
One night, Everton's theories are confirmed when he convinces himself a drone is spying on him.
I see you.
He thought the government was always watching him, especially me, because I was like 3 doors down.
Position itself right over the house top, man. Harassing me.
He said this drone was following him. It wasn't a drone, it was a star.
Tell me that ain't taking millions and millions of America's money to do this, man. Terrorize me, man.
Everton and his thoughts about everyone conspiring against him, in his eyes, those were real.
I got you on camera.
Certain he's under constant surveillance, Everton turns his home into a fortress.
He had cameras, spotlights, so you came anywhere near his house, the lights would come on. He had 12 locks on his door, inside and outside.
And he has no intention of suffering in silence.
He had signs all over his truck and his house and his car. That's when you notice that mental illness probably really kicked in. One of the signs said, FBI, stay out of my home and my vehicle. It's been years.
Hey.
And I'm like, what's going on?
You all right?
I'm all right. Everything is good.
Ain't nothing wrong with me. So he was always in denial there was never nothing wrong with him.
Everton is determined to stop being harassed, no matter what anyone thinks.
I don't think anyone ever had any conversations with Everton regarding getting any help. To tell someone that you think they need some sort of help could trigger a response that you might not want.
Neighbors like Vogel Hill are becoming increasingly wary of their former friend.
It was a touchy situation, so you just had to let it play as it is and just leave him alone. He was already into that mental state where everybody's after me, and I'm right and everybody's wrong.
After years of animosity, Parkview Crossing residents have adapted to the constant tension. But when a new family moves into the area, it triggers a new wave of hostility from Everton. The latest arrivals are Ivory Williams, his wife, Kara Williams, and their son, Williams Jr.
The neighborhood was really friendly, nice townhouses, family friendly, and it was really close to my job.
You move into a new community, obviously you want to meet, your neighbors and establish some sort of relationship with them.
First day we moved into the neighborhood, Everton Brown was standing in front of his house, and I introduced myself.
Hi, Ivory. Just moved in.
Do I look like I care who you are?
His response had me feeling like this is probably a person that I just need to keep my distance. I would just try to avoid Everton Brown.
Within weeks, Everton's dog becomes ill, and his mania skyrockets.
Something's not right.
His dog had real bad stomach issues, and he had recorded videos of the dog in the yard, then posted on YouTube.
Is that justice? That's the FBI at work. This is the 5th time my dog done went to the bathroom today.
I'm gonna get these bastards. They done something to you.
Then, a short time later, the dog passed.
Everton knows exactly who is responsible.
Dog killer?
Excuse me?
I mean, my mind was just racing.
Something definitely was going to happen. It got really bad.
Everyone was talking for Everton Brown.
I know you killed my dog.
What are you talking about?
He would accuse, I know you came into my house, I know you poisoned my dog.
I got proof.
He was saying, I know that you was in my house because you left a cigarette butt.
You left us on my floor after you poisoned him.
That was just absurd for him to sit there and say we would kill his pet.
I wasn't inside your house, and I didn't poison your dog!
Stop lying to me!
Mr. Brown, we don't know anything about your dog. Now please leave us alone or we're going to call the police.
Stay away from my place from now on!
It was frustrating to have to come home every day wondering, are you gonna have to have a confrontation with Everton Brown before you go into your house?
From now on, we shouldn't come outside if we see him on the street.
But avoiding Everton is nearly impossible, as Williams Jr. soon discovers.
I see you. I know what you're doing.
Everton came out there and just started saying things to him.
You keeping tabs on me.
It went from mild things with the government being after him, and then it went to, we were part of the FBI trying to get him. This is really getting out of hand.
Why don't you go get alive and stop terrorizing me?
Everton is a person that's going to keep on and keep on and keep on until he either breaks you or he makes you come over there and do something to him.
Hey! What's all the shouting?
You know what's going on. Your son is a peeping Tom.
You're not even worth watching. You're a fool.
Everton made a threat. He said something like, I'm not going to get you now, but I'm going to get you later. My son was arguing with him, and his father and I both said to stop arguing with Everton.
I'm not putting up with this. I'm calling the cops.
Because he started threatening my son called the police. And Baltimore County Police came to our home.
What do you mean there's nothing you can do? There was no trespassing involved.
They pretty much stated, as long as he don't come on our property or hurt or harm anyone, it was pretty much nothing they could do.
I'm sorry. There's nothing more.
Everton just laughed. He knew the police wasn't going to do anything.
Refusing to back down, the infuriated neighbors try another channel in an attempt to rein in Everton.
I am sick of being harassed by Everton Brown.
We all had meetings with the Homeowners Association about Everton and the occurrences we have had with them, and we try to deal with it that way.
Every time we see him, he says something to us.
He's playing with us.
We've already called the police. Is there anything you can do?
If you had cracks in the pavement in front of your house, they would try to come and tell you need to fix that, but they would never say anything to him. It was like almost like the Homeowners Association was scared of Everton.
Look, if something's not done, I'm afraid this can end very bad.
I told him, I said, either Everton's gonna kill somebody, or somebody's gonna kill Everton, or it's gonna be vice versa.
Well, I could definitely send a notice.
That's not gonna do anything.
I think a lot of people are really mad with the homeowner association because the homeowner association do nothing about it.
Meanwhile, their neighbor's surging paranoia forces him into complete isolation.
The best thing you could do at the time is ignore him. If you gave him any kind of attention, that means he'll keep going. If you ignore him, he'll cut it shorter. So we just ignored him. Everybody ignored him. Nobody paid him no mind.
While residents do their best to avoid Everton, they're still constantly worried about what might happen next.
Initially, I thought Everton Brown was just a harasser. As time went on, I seen his behavior to become more aggressive. And then I started to think like it's possible that he could possibly hurt somebody.
But no one could have predicted Everton's next target.
Our trash get picked up every Tuesday morning.
Stop what you're doing! Why you going to my garbage, trying to find something for me for the FBI?
You can hear him say something to the trash man. He said, y'all ain't no real trash man, y'all the FBI.
I'm an innocent man. Are you a stooge for the government?
He was still running his mouth about they the FBI, so the dude came off the trash truck, went up Ed Stex.
What are you doing? You should be ashamed of yourself.
He was laying on the ground, then he got up and went in the house.
Instead of teaching him a lesson, Everton's latest battle fuels his fire.
For years, the government and the police have been watching me, harassing me. It's injustice.
2 o'clock in the morning, it could be 12 in the afternoon, it could be 4 o'clock in the morning. Whenever he felt he had the need, he would come out.
Can't you see? You're coming to get all of us. Where's my justice?
I knew where this may be headed, and I've seen it in my career in law enforcement. Dealing with people with mental illness is hard. It's really hard because you got to find out what angle they're coming from. What's causing you and what's triggering you to act like this? So I kept trying to talk to him.
The next time Vogel Hill is out for a walk, he makes one last attempt with Everton and gets a surprising response.
He was doing something to his door that the 13 locks, 12 locks.
It's a lot of locks.
Hey, Vogues, how you doing?
You good? You good?
I said, hey, what's up, Ed? How you doing? He said, hey, Vogue, how you doing? That was it. The norm. It was like nothing really happened.
Couldn't be better, my brother.
Okay, you know if you need me, I'm here, right?
But this pleasant side of Everton vanishes as quickly as it appeared.
I've had other cases where I've had people have mental illness, you know, and you sit down and talk to them like, you know, what do you need? You need help? I'm here to help you. I can get you help. Boom, boom. You tell them this and you tell them that. And usually it works out. His case, it would not work out. It did not work out.
And Everton won't rest until the entire world hears his message.
My name is Everton Brown, and I've been victimized and violated for more than 7 years by the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
So trust that you escalate on the police.
I've had 7 jobs in the past 5 years because of the FBI.
His YouTube page was very entertaining. Oh, this is a nutcase about to explode.
It's just another way of trying to victimize another black man because you don't want me to speak out. You don't want me to speak out, so you try to suppress my voice in any way and every way you can.
Some of the neighbors knew about the videos. They all had the same idea that I did, that the elevator's definitely not going to the top floor. Something was wrong. There was something wrong.
Everton decides to bring his grievances directly to the U.S. president.
President, I am begging your feet. Stop violating my home and slowly destroy my property.
He's at the White House protesting about Obama. Got people watching me, and you're violating my civil rights.
As his delusions keep escalating, another new family moves onto Parkview Drive.
The Quintanilla family lived in between my house and Everton Brown's house. So the Quintanilla family lived directly next door to Everton Brown.
Ishmael Quintanilla, his wife Sarah Alacote, and their son Anthony are excited to finally have a place of their own.
It meant a lot, because now we have our house, we can have our own garden, our own backyard, have plants, have a grill, without any disturbance.
Damn fools, you think you can trick me?
But their new neighbor is about to send their excitement crashing down.
The first time we encountered Everton, it wasn't very good first impression. He kept looking at us with a mean stare, just cursing at us, mumbling in his breath.
Idiots.
I don't believe I ever had the opportunity to warn the Quintanilla family about Everton. I don't believe any of the other neighbors had either.
The Quintanillas learn about Everton's tactics the hard way.
¿Qué pasa aquí? He's in our spot.
Otra vez. Don't worry, I'll talk to him.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't park there!
My dad had parked near the sidewalk in front of his house, which he doesn't own the sidewalk, but he still got mad.
Why don't you pack up and go away? You don't belong here!
He was yelling at my dad. My dad had enough. He kept threatening us, so we called the cops. The cops came. He eventually moved the car. It took a very long time for that to happen.
Is there anything you can do to stop this man from harassing us?
I recommend you get a restraining order.
My dad said if we put a restraining order, he's probably gonna do the same. He's probably gonna curse at us, so. But they didn't do nothing.
That's it?
Sorry, that's the way it is.
We were alone in this with trying to get somebody to see that there's a problem with this particular neighbor, and they just kept ignoring the signs no matter how many people called.
Everton's rage at the irritations and injustice around him is about to reach a deadly new level.
You know, when I saw him, he looked frustrated. At some point, he did tell me that he had a gun. He said, I gotta protect myself.
Nobody knew that it was going to get this bad.
He had a Glock 9mm, legally or not legally. It's not like he can't go down into the Baltimore City and purchase one off the streets. It's not that hard.
He had the gun. He said it needed for protection when he was at home. I never would have thought that he would use it in a way where he would, harm someone.
By now, everyone in Parkview Crossing is living in fear, helplessly awaiting Everton Brown's next move.
I never looked at him as being a violent person. Temper, yes. Violent. I never thought Everton was violent.
George is about to be proved dead wrong.
My son was sitting in his car on his phone listening to music. Everton Brown pulled up, he got out and put a flashlight in the car on my son.
What are you doing here?
And said, what you doing in there? What you doing in there? Just harassing him. And so my son and him started having words.
You want to call the cops again? What's the matter with you? Stop bothering me.
My son got out the car. Then Everton goes to his truck and grabs a bat.
Bring it on, man. Come on, bring it on, man.
So we called the police, and the police did arrive, and we told them what happened, and the officer went over and talked to him.
So Mr. Brown is saying that your son assaulted him?
That's not true. No. This guy chased my son with a bat.
Now it's his word against mine, saying that my son threatened him or hit him, which was nonsense.
This man has been harassing us for a very long time. There has to be something you can do.
A restraining order is the best you can do, sir.
To hear was nothing much that the police could do until he physically harmed or hurt someone. It made me feel like that somebody had to almost lose their life or die for action to be taken.
I understand from the police point of view, what they're saying, if we did do something, he could be right back tomorrow or right back in the next couple hours. So why? Why even bother?
Fine. We'll look into getting a restraining order.
You folks have a nice evening.
Days later, the Williams family is successful in securing a peace order against Everton.
The Baltimore County police officers explained that a peace order is something that you put on a person when is harassment involved or a threat or things like that. So I filed a peace order on him. I was relieved. It made me feel safe that at least finally that the police was going to be involved if I had any more incidents with Everton.
But the relief is short-lived.
You think I'm scared of a little peace order?
He pretty much laughed about it and said, I don't care about that SHIT, pretty much laughing in my face like, whatever. Nothing's gonna happen from that either.
He continued with the same behavior.
It just makes you angry because You want to really take things into your own hands, but you don't do that because you know the repercussions of that, but it gets to that point.
People were tired of it. It got to a point where people were ready to leave.
On May 1st, 2021, Sagar Gamir moves into Parkview Crossing, completely unaware of the war zone in which he's just landed.
Sagar moved into the house directly next to Everton Brown, opposite the Quintanilla family.
Hey, how's it going?
Originally from Nepal, Sagar is residing with a Nepalese family while he applies to graduate school. Although the way Everton sees it, Sagar is another spy sent to keep tabs on him.
All the frustrations and all the conspiracies and everyone against him, you know, it was just too much.
As the peace orders begin to pile up against Everton, his mental health hits rock bottom.
Once you do get a peace order, if the person does break any of those regulations on a peace order, then they'll come and lock them up.
I think Everton felt alone. I think he felt the walls were closing in on him. He felt like sooner or later it was gonna be that time. And I'm gonna take some people with me.
We were all asleep, and this loud noise I've never ever heard in my life, it shook the whole house. I automatically hopped out the bed and looked out the back window, and I saw fire and smoke and debris falling everywhere from Everton Brown's home. It's a fire!
The explosion happened. I was in the bed. I'm like, what in the world's going on? I'm seeing all this fire and stuff shooting out.
Terrified neighbors frantically call 911.
We just had a house blow up, and the house next to it is on fire.
A house exploded?
Yes, and there's one guy who lives in there. Oh my God, we don't see him. We don't see him.
I was trying to call 911, but 911 was so busy that day. I guess everybody else heard it as well, so I couldn't get through on the line. My husband at that point went down.
Stay here. Dad, don't!
My son was like, don't go down there, Daddy, don't go down there. So I was like, I'm just gonna go see what's going on. I was thinking it was an accident. So I opened up my door and stepped out to get a better view of what was going on. Did I see any commotion? Did I see if anybody was hurt? And I could see a figure standing with his back towards me.
Hey, buddy, you okay? You okay?
He turned around, I could see in his hand that he had a handgun.
No, Evan, stop! Please stop!
I assumed that he was trying to load it, so I ran back in the house and slammed my door. From my son's bedroom, you could see the front of our house, and my son saw Everton approaching the Quintanilla's house.
Mama, Papa.
I thought maybe it's a random earthquake or something. Weird knocking. My mom and dad were going downstairs, and I thought it could be a firefighter.
Who is it?
Oh, no, come back! No.
The door got broken open by Everton.
Take it easy. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
I can only imagine how the Quintanilla family must have felt for you to be begging for your life.
He shot my mom. I went upstairs to my room to grab my phone and dial 911.
Hello, please hurry. Please hurry. Our neighbor broke into our house and is attacking us.
All I heard was my dad crying, saying, "Don't hurt my family."
Please, I beg you. It's my family. Stop!
And then I heard a few shots. Then after the shooting, my mom went outside.
She ran down, but she tumbled between the cars. but she's already been shot.
Help! Help me, please! Help! Help! Somebody, please!
She was saying, please help me, please help me. I could never have predicted what was going to happen next. This level of violence should not have occurred.
Somebody help me!
Everton went after Ismail's wife. Ismail's wife tried to run out, and he shot her. It's time for me to jump in action. It's time for me to get ready to, just in case he does try to come over here. I grabbed my phone, and I thought I grabbed my gun. I went downstairs, opened the door, seen him, didn't have my gun.
The damage to Vogel's house is severe, making it impossible to go back upstairs and get his weapon.
So I had to stand there, actually watch. I had to think about what my next move was going to be.
Seconds later, Sagar Gamir and a friend are forced outside.
Because they were connected on to Ed's house, and their house was catching on fire. So they had to evacuate. Sagar and his friend tried to save Ismail's wife.
No, please, please.
I seen him shoot Sagar, then I seen him shoot Sagar's friend, and hit him in the leg, then he just went after Sagar again, and shot him again.
Now the whole neighborhood is witnessing the violence unfold.
There's a million people! There's gunfire! We got gunfire! I need you to get to safety right now. He's still holding a gun! He's still holding a gun!
We could hear the sirens in the area, so we knew that they was coming close.
Multiple police officers descend on Parkview Crossing and immediately locate the shooter.
First cop pulled up. Ed started shooting at him.
Shot fired, shot fired.
And that's when everybody started coming from Baltimore County.
Police rapidly surround Everton.
They got there really quick, really quick. I was saying, I hope they get him.
Drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun!
They had an all-out shootout right there.
It sounds like it was coming from everywhere, like multiple cops were shooting or something.
There's a term in law enforcement called suicide by cop. I think he wanted to die that day.
26, shots fired, subject down.
When everything stopped, I was pretty much sure. I thought they had killed him.
Everton, he got shot pretty bad, his abdomen area all shot up in his stomach, and they dragged him away further down the end of the block.
With Everton neutralized, police work quickly to tend to the victims in the raging fires.
Careful, couple medics out here. Bring people down,
I'm coming. Baltimore County Police! Anybody in here? Let's go! Who's it here? Hey, boss! Who's in this house? Come on, try to get them up.
After the smoke clears, authorities determine the cause of the explosion.
Everton Brown blew up his home.
It was a gas explosion. Cigar house completely collapsed. Everton's house was destroyed, it blew up. All the rest of the houses had this smoke and water damage.
A week after, I went back to the house to see the damages that happened. And when I saw the house, I was so broken. I started crying, getting things back in my head that happened.
Por favor. No, por favor. Somebody, please!
Ismail Quintanilla, Sarah Elacote, and Sagar Gamir are all killed in the vicious attack by Everton Brown. Sagar's friend miraculously survives.
I think it was planned. exact date, don't know. But the stuff he had, you had 2 9mm, a knife in your pocket, 2 knives in your pocket, and you had 4 bombs made. So that was definitely planned.
I think he decided, I'm going to blow up my home in order to get the neighbors to come out, and then I'm going to kill everybody that I see.
Anthony Quintanilla has lost both his parents.
I like to have my father be remembered as a hardworking man that was good to everybody and cared for other people. I would like my mother to be remembered as a loving person that did anything for her family, to work hard.
Sagar Gamir had only been living in the area for a week before he was cruelly taken from his friends and family.
I can imagine they felt anger. I'm sure they was upset. And I'm sure they only wonder how could something like this happen.
I don't think it'll go away for a lot of people, especially people that were immediately impacted. They never thought Ed would escalate from maybe fights and harassing people to murder.
Everton Brown is killed during the police shootout. He leaves behind a legacy of harassment, bizarre behavior, and terrible violence.
I didn't feel sorry for Everton. He got what he deserved because he killed those innocent people.
People that came in contact with Everton in that area, we would always have a saying similar to, it's just a matter of time. Insinuating that he was just a ticking time bomb, just waiting to explode.
The community of Parkview Crossing is still struggling to make sense of this horrible tragedy.
I think if more things were done with the Homeowners Association and Baltimore County Police Department, I think this could have been avoided.
I know the police got a lot of other things going on and their hands are tied, but if you get that many complaints about one person, there's a problem. People are still in shock to this day about it because you don't believe it.